what I was really thinking about is on the channel once a week. I mean, I can show you all kinds of products and all kinds of, not all kinds, there's not a whole lot, you know. I showed you the iodine thing, and that's in my other video. What else did we go over? I showed you grounding. That helps so much. I showed you the water filtration. That's just common sense stuff though, you guys. We need clean water. That's in a couple videos back. We need iodine. I'm just pointing things our body needs that I learned through that year and a half being sick that made me better. But who really made me better is the good Lord. And if I don't mention that, I feel that that's wrong. So what I did was I read this. As the book of John. Now I've read this from page to page, and I sleep with it in my ear every night. Almost. I can't say every night, but almost every night I have an earbud and it's playing the Bible in my ear because I want to know more. You see, you guys, when you go to church, most churches have been turned into rock concerts. And what I mean by that is if you're walking outside your church and you're not inspired, if you're inspired by anything other than the Word of God, if you're inspired by a guitarist, you didn't go to church. If you're inspired by anything other than this right here, you went to a rock concert. And that's the truth. I'm not going to lie about it because I went to churches like that. A church that basically they talk about one section of the Bible, how Peter stood on the water, and then that's it. But they won't dig into Jesus is coming back and you need to be ready. Church won't touch that. Church won't touch none of the prophecies in this book. Did you guys know that almost a third of this book's prophecies are things that haven't happened yet? That, in my opinion, are about to happen. We're like this close. You got people warning you on YouTube. You got people saying, hey, I can sense that something's happening. Something's going to happen soon. Get ready. Get ready. Prep. Be prepared. But you guys, if you're not prepared spiritually, what good is it to a can of beans? Really? If something happens and, like everybody is scared to die, but what really happens if you do die? Do you know where you're going? Or is it more important to have a can of beans? In my opinion, it's both. I think that in a case that we have something catastrophic happen, you should be spiritually prepared. Now, someone on my comments brought this to my attention. So I figured I'd take a little time out. It wasn't just one person, it was a few. Take a little time out and do what I should have done in the first video. I'm looking here. There we are. So, first of all, I give all the credit and all the glory to Jesus Christ. All of it. Because he's the one who helped me. Secondly, I'll show you stuff that helped me, the materialistic stuff that helped me get through it. And those of you who have never seen this before, yeah, I was terminally ill for about 2 years, and I prayed about it, and almost those 2 years, I bought a lot of stuff. I mean, I bought healing rocks, I bought, name it. I should actually one day bring out all the crap I bought. I bought stuff to get rid of yeast. I bought what's that stuff you're not supposed to drink? If this was live, you guys would be telling me. A turpentine. I've done it all. I know what works and what don't. And I'm not suggesting any of that to any of you guys. So we discussed iodine, we discussed grounding, we discussed clean water. They're just 3 things you need. But let's get back to what I'm talking about. They're all in the past video. If any of this stuff interests you, or and you want a good well-being, hit subscribe right now. Subscribe to my channel, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to heal the world spiritually and give tips along the way that I think that the Lord has provided me to show you. You know, I mean that. I'm not a camera person. I'm not one to go on camera. Anyhow, so I started reading the Bible and I read the book of John, and it was amazing to me because in the book of John it says, "In the beginning was the Word, the Logos, the Word." The Word. When you talk, it's your thought. It's a thing. So in the beginning was the Word. Okay, and the Word was with God, face to face. Now you all know that Jesus is the Word and God is the Father. The Word was face to face with God the Father. And this is something that says, in the beginning of time. It was a revelation for me because I thought God the Father was a guy with a long beard and Jesus was someone that just came to the earth and died on a cross. No, 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 no. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The creator of the universe. In the beginning. That doesn't mean in the beginning of this book. It means in the beginning of time. You see, in Hebrew, the word the is not there. It says in beginnings. The beginning of everything was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So now we realize if we backtrack, we come down, and he says, it's funny because I underlined him in the beginning of the book of John. And eventually we know that him is Jesus. But let's hear about what it says about Jesus, about him. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. All things were made by Jesus, guys. And if you read Hebrews, it tells you the exactly, it tells you so much more about Jesus' identity and who he is. It's amazing. So we learn that all things were made by him, and without him nothing was made. And from the beginning of time. So that's kind of interesting because we're stuck in time. But think about this. We're stuck in this. I always use these. Uh, we're stuck on this round Earth. Okay, this is so we're stuck here. But if you go up high enough, it's like I like to tell people it's like watching a parade. If you're standing on Elm Street, okay, this is my analogy of it. If you're standing on Elm Street, you can see what's going on Elm Street. But Main Street, you can't see, but you can see Elm Street, right? You can see that little section of the road that where the parade's going by. Now, go up about, I don't know, 1,000 feet. Now you can see the whole parade happening. You can see every street it's going down. Well, keep going up, higher, higher, higher. You eventually get out of time. There's no time in space. None. Your watch is not going to matter. So when you think about time and all that, God has no time. It says a minute's but a year. That makes total sense. Because if we could go up high enough and be where he's at and look down, there's no time up there. It's just amazing to me. So we learned that he was in the beginning of time and all things. Every tree, everything you see in this beautiful world were made by him. And it's just such an awesome thing. And him was life, and life, and him, and and him was the life, and the life was the light of man. And the light shineth in darkness, and darkness couldn't comprehend it. It was a dark place here when he came here. It just blows me away today when I read it. And I fell upon this. Well, when Billy Graham passed away, so I don't know the exact date of that, but that's when I remember doing this. I have it in my calendar. But you guys, it's it's something like this that it's a lot to take in, and especially if you don't read the Bible. But I had to get on here. I don't want to make this a whole preaching session. But if you guys want more of this, let me know in the comments below. Because what I was thinking is, I've had so many revelations. Like, this is such a just a practical book, but in a way, it's it's so understanding once you understand it. Once you get on your knees and you pray to God, you ask for forgiveness, and you ask Jesus to come in your life, and you start living for Him and not yourself. It's an amazing experience. And the coolest part about all of it is that you understand this better. There was a time when I couldn't understand it. I pick it up and read it and I understand it. And I want to bring people to this that they understand it. So if you just pop your Bible open and go to the beginning of John and just read everywhere it says him, 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 him. And instead of starting from the beginning, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Instead of starting there, go down the whole chapter and just underline him and look exactly who he is, because you discover Jesus' identity there. The world wants to make him a man just like me or just like you, who got killed and murdered on a cross. It wasn't like that at all. He wasn't just a man. He did miracles. He did all kinds of things. The biggest thing he did is he created everything, not just me, not just you. He created everything. And after already knowing that outside of time, the creator of all things came to this earth and died on a cross for us, was buried. And here's the part they don't tell you. He rose 3 days later. He overcame death. And he's the example for us to follow. He beat death. And you can do the same thing, and so can I. So how do you do it? Get your knees. You tell God you're sorry for all the stupid stuff you did. You ask him to forgive you. And you read this. And you start out in the book of John. And I can assure you that if you do that tonight, that if you pray and you mean it, so you got to understand. You got to understand one thing. The first was the law. Moses had the law. You can't, steal. You can't lie. They're still effective, but they'll be on your heart when you get saved. They're already on your heart. People know that. I'm kind of saying that wrong, and I'm trying to explain the best way I can. And if you guys want to help me out, this will start a whole conversation, I'm sure. But yeah, like for example, the next day, I woke up and I didn't cuss, and I cuss like a sailor. I didn't drink. This doesn't happen overnight, by the way. Some people it do. Some people it happens like, boom, done. But I didn't cuss. I didn't drink. I didn't do drugs. I didn't, none of that crap. And it slowly got pulled away from me. So anyhow, I don't want to talk in circles. And we're here at like 15 minutes. I'm going to cut this short. If you guys would like to talk about the Bible more and talk about Revelations, kind of like James and John, when they were trying to go soul winning and preach the gospel, preach the good news. And James and John says, can't we just call fire down like Elijah did and burn these people up? I mean, it's something I would do, It's a cute story. And there's all kinds of really good stories in this book. So if you guys want me to do more of this stuff once a week, let me know in the comments. I got some fun stuff planned for you guys. And I put up that video, not the one about the electric, not the EMF video, the one prior to that, the chemicals in the air. And now I am being censored very bad. I mean, they're pounding me on Facebook. I looked at my statistics, and every day I was getting like 2 or 3 subs. I'm going negative now, guys. They're censoring me, and they'll keep me from 1,000, especially if I'm doing this. I'll never get 1,000. But you know what? As long as one person sees it and gets it and understands it, and I can come on here and explain, and it's something you want, I'm going to do it. I don't care. I didn't call my channel demanding the truth just because, it's a fling. It's something we all want. So if you guys like this content, let me know in the description box. If you're new here, we do some fun stuff on this channel. I can't tell you, but you know what? I can. I got a giveaway coming up. That's all I'm saying. And it's for you guys. It's for you subs because you guys are part of the family. I got a giveaway coming up, and it's just because I love you guys. And you guys, I'm getting stuff sent in the mail. I've got like 4 things sent in the mail so far, and I'm giving them to you guys. You guys can have them, and it's stuff that I used or didn't, and I'll let you know if I did or didn't. I'm a very honest person. But back to the news. We all saw the news tonight. The world's a horrible place, and for me personally, it could end tonight. So the first thing, before you buy your beans, before you buy your guns, before you buy your bullets, before you buy any of that crap, that'll help you. I'm giving you tools to help you. Get an earthing. The frequencies are crazy out here. If you don't believe me, look at my last video. Earthing's good for you. Get clean water. You need clean water. These are things we need. These are things that, help our bodies. But up here and spiritually, you got to be ready spiritually. Because I'm telling you, it could happen tonight.